About 6 years ago, I made this really cool jig for my mitre saw. It did allow me to cut more precisely, safely, even those smaller pieces. However, I did change my mitre saw and I came into a situation where I do have a couple of projects where I do need to cut a lot of small pieces. So it's perfect timing to create a new mitre saw jig for my current saw. However, it's not going to be the same design. I'm planning few interesting upgrades, so hopefully my new jig will be even better and more versatile. So check out my video. But if you do want to check out the build video for this particular jig, well, got you covered. Link down below in the description of this video. And if you're watching this on a TV, there should be a QR code taking you straight to that video. But what materials we're gonna need for today's project? The old jig was made out of plywood. 6 years ago, prices of plywood were not too bad. However, nowadays plywood is as expensive as gold. So in my case, I'm actually going to be using 18mm MDF. And on top of that, we're going to need some T-tracks as well. So these are the key components. Now it's time to cut the MDF to the right sizes. So the base will be 700mm by 330mm. However, I'm going to cut two bases, one out of 18mm MDF and one out of 12mm MDF, and I'm going to glue both of them together. And the fence will be 700mm long and 100mm tall. And again, I'm going to double up the 18mm MDF and the 12mm MDF. With all the boards cut to the right sizes, now it's time for a bit of glue up, doubling up our base and the fence. Make sure your glue ups are nice and squared up, put some weight on it and leave it for a good half an hour for the glue to set. Right then, the glue has set, the panels are ready for the next stage. And at this stage, what we need to do is to create some grooves to accommodate the T-tracks. In my case, the T-track is 10mm tall and 15mm wide. Now I don't have a 15mm wide router bit, as that's what I'm going to be using, a router table. The next one up is 16mm, and I think that's going to be absolutely fine for this particular case. I'm going to do several passes on my router table until I get to that 10, probably 11mm of depth, making sure that our T-track is below the level of our tabletop. The main horizontal T-track is located about 5cm away from the top edge. Right then, so we do have a groove for this T-track right here, and we've got the fence on this side. Okay, that's sorted. However, I do want to add two more T-tracks like this, and I do have a really super simple method of doing that. So first of all, I think I'm gonna go with 10cm distance and then 25cm distance. And to create the groove for our T-track, well, I'm going to use the oldest woodworking trick. Masking tape, a bit of CA, and you need to make sure to have a router bit guided by a bearing. We need to align this piece to the mark that we already did. So that's the important bit. Now what you need to do? Well, grab your T-track, place it right on the edge, and now the second piece will basically butt against our T-track, and we're going to have a perfect slot for our T-track. Okay, so again, blue tape, CA glue, activator, now leave it for a few seconds and then grab the router and off we go. Unfortunately, I went a little bit too happy with my router and went a little bit too far, but that's fine. It's not an issue, okay? It's not going to affect the jig. And check that out. We have a perfect groove for our T-track. Now you can continue with this method, as it is quite simple and easy to follow, or you can make one of these groove jigs that I've done a while ago and it will work absolutely fine. And then there's no messing around with the tape, with the CA glue. You simply add this onto your piece, clamp it down and off you go. So I'm going to leave a link to my video on how to make this jig, or if you're watching this on a TV, you can scan this QR code. It will take you straight away to my video so you can save it on your phone to watch later. With all the grooves now created, I'm gonna simply install the T-tracks. Now it's time to attach the fence itself, and I'm gonna use some wood glue and some screws as well. Tell you what, I've almost forgot one of the most important features that I wanted to add to this jig. Mainly, I want to have the ability to replace the area where the blade's gonna be. Currently, I've got the multi-purpose blade from Evolution, and I think the curve on that is 2.4 millimeters. But I do often change the blade to different times, depending on what I'm actually doing. So the curve will change as well. Having the ability to actually replace that part of the jig is very important, as it will help me in having a nice and clear cut line, but also a zero clearance blade for better quality cuts. So I've managed to take off the fence before the glue set. I was pretty quick to realize my mistake, and now I've marked the middle where I'm going to install a 5mm thick piece of plywood. I need to cut to size. I've installed those two stop blocks for my router to be able to go from left to right, and I'm going to create this groove, this channel where the plywood piece will go. And I'm actually going to use the plywood itself to establish the depth of cut. And now I can route out the channel. So now I'm going to put back the T-track in. I'm going to install these plates as they need to be held down with some screws, and then finally I'm going to put back the fence itself. One thing you need to make sure is to countersink the holes so the heads of your screws will be flush with our tabletop. I have also decided to add a T-track on the top of our fence. However, that's totally optional. The T-track on the base of the jig will allow you to add stop blocks as well. However, you will have to take them off if you want to do another larger, longer cut. With the T-track on top, well, you can just fold the stop block upwards and Bob's your uncle. Another thing that I do want to add to my jig is a scale. I do have this metal tape with centimeters on it. The middle point, the 0 point, is actually in the middle of the whole thing, so it's perfect for this type of a jig where the middle is going to be where the blade will go. And I'm actually going to use my router to create a tiny channel. This is just under 1mm of thickness, so it is important to actually bury that, making it flush with the fence. Otherwise, the thickness of this could actually affect the quality of cuts, and I definitely don't want that. So a nice, quick and simple pass with my router should sort out that problem. And as you can see, the tape goes in absolutely perfectly. However, I'm going to install that after I create the cut with my saw to know exactly the position of the 0 point. Now let's think about how to mount our jig onto this Mitre saw. Well, in my case, it's that simple. I already do have some holes in the fences. It's like they thought about this, okay? That someone will put an additional fence onto it or a jig of some sort. So let's put our jig on top of our Mitre saw. Now make sure that the blade goes more or less in the middle of our sacrificial board right here. I've established the position of my jig, and I'm just going to clamp it down to make sure it doesn't move on me as I'm going to be marking the holes. Now I can drill the holes for the bolts. In my case, they're going to be M5 bolts. Now that's the type of bolt I'm going to be using So basically what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna be using a countersink bit to make that recess so the head of this bolt will be flush with my table. And now I'm simply gonna offer the bolt and I can secure everything with a nut at the back. Okay, now it's time to score the line of the blade. However, what we need to remember is to establish the depth of cut, as you don't want to actually cut your jig in half. Okay, we just need to score a line in the middle and on the fence as well. Yes, we're gonna hit that T-track as well. In this case, the Evolution blade is a multi-material cutting blade, so it will cut through metals as well. So aluminium is no issues in that case. However, most of the blades will cut through aluminium with no problems. Now I have made a slight boo-boo here, as well, the head of my mitre saw will not extend any further as it's hitting the plastic cover of this. So the solution in my case, I'm just gonna remove the bolts that are holding the jig in place, and I'm gonna use the mitre saw to remove the parts of the T-track plus a bit of material from the MDF fence. So that's one thing that you need to be careful of when building a jig of this type, to see if any parts of the body of the machine will actually hit the fence at any point. But yeah, I'm just gonna carry on and remove some material from this fence. Okay, let's have a look if now I've got a full range. And yes, I do. Nothing is knocking on my jig. And I must say, this was actually a fairly quickly easy fix to do. And I'm quite surprised that it actually came out really good. So there you go. Even if you do make mistakes, try to think about ways you can rectify them. And in this case, it came out all right. So now I'm going to reattach the jig and we're going to add the scale. I'm going to cut this tape right on that 0 mark, right across the middle. And quite simply, as you can see, I'm just going to add that 0 mark right on the edge where the cut line is. As I did say, this tape does have its own adhesive, so it's super easy to install. Absolutely perfect. Now I'm just gonna cut the ends off the excess that I've got from the tape. And there you have it. Our jig is finally completed. And now quite easily we can make super accurate cuts. That's the line I want to cut, and we can reference that off the gap after the blade, just like so. And if you don't want to have your hands anywhere near the object, especially if it's something really small, then hey, you can quite easily use the T-tracks for clamping purposes as well. So it's going to be accurate and safe to use as well. Right on the line, perfect straight cut. This jig and its setup will allow you to make super precise cuts exactly where you need them, and because we do have a selection of T-tracks, will allow you to actually add additional jigs to it to make more complex cuts as well in a safe manner, as you can clamp it from any position you want. Now you may say, well, this is all great, but you can only do 90-degree cuts. And you are absolutely right. However, the layout of the T-tracks will actually allow us to create additional accessories for this jig, so you will be able to cut different types of angles, going from the basic 45s but also others. However, that's for another video. So if you want to see those accessories that I'm actually going to create for this jig, for this mitre saw, Well, you better subscribe to my channel so you won't miss that video. When the second video will be completed, I'm actually going to drop a link to it down below in the description of this video and in a pinned comment. So if the link is there, that means the video is there as well, waiting for you. But before then, I just want to say a massive thank you to my Patreons for the ongoing support. And before you go, check out these two cool playlists. There's actually plenty of fantastic jigs on those playlists already. So check them out and maybe you'll find your next video too. For today, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.